Before you continue with this video, I need you to ask yourself, what is your biggest fear? If you had to write them all out, which one would float to the top of that list? If you could pinpoint it, which one is it? Because in this video, we're going to take that fear and go through how you can more easily overcome this fear. And I'm going to try and keep this under 10 minutes to make this the most impactful for you. So we can get into this here. If you don't know me as well, my name is Carter, and I do one-to-one coaching for entrepreneurs and sales pros around this energetic work. And fear is the biggest one. Fear is the biggest one. Because what is it that holds people back? What is the main thing? It's fear. It's the pain. It's discomfort. But it's not the kind of pain where, you chop off your arm and it hurts. It's this pain. It's the fear. It's the doubt. It's the discomfort. And 2 years ago, I had to accept that my big fear was cold calling. It was cold calling, okay? And it was intimidating as hell. And I was starting with my digital marketing agency, was getting started in that work. I've now transitioned into one-to-one coaching, but I was starting with my digital marketing service and cold calling businesses, and it was intimidating. It was painful. And I worked at it for over a year. And as painful and menacing as that thing was, the freedom on the other side of it was very profound. And that's why I'm making this video for you here. Because if you do think about it, the fear is temporary. The freedom on the other side of it is forever. So that's why I'm making this video. And do I like cold calling now? No. No. Absolutely not. Do I like cold calling? Absolutely not. But this is something to write down right here. Overcoming fear isn't about liking it. It's about making it familiar. So we hear overcoming fear as this big thing. It's simply making it familiar. That's a banger. That's a major simplification, right? So I simply made cold calling familiar to a point where it didn't intimidate me as much anymore. And now we're starting to get into it. I made it familiar to a point where it didn't intimidate me as much anymore. I went on this streak actually where I cold called for 103 days in a row. And I just did consistency with it. So I did $15 to $20 per day, Monday through Friday, and I chipped away at it like that. And I made it familiar to a point where not doing it felt weird. That's what you want. That's what you want. You want to get to a point where not doing it feels weird. And that's why doing it every day for at least 30 days is important. But we're going to get into that later in the video here, just in a couple minutes. But as an entrepreneur, as a sales pro, with the coaching that I do, and this is what we're focusing on with this video, your big fear is your big advantage. Your big fear is your big advantage as an entrepreneur. And why is that? Because people don't want to go there, man. People don't want to go there. But really, fear is this messenger telling you that there's freedom on the other side. Fear is this messenger trying to convince you to look here, there's freedom on the other side for you. And when you overcome that fear and you make it familiar to a point where it doesn't intimidate you anymore, you feel that freedom, and that freedom floods into all areas of your business. I'm telling you, I need you to experience this. It floods into all areas of your life and business. It reflects in all the work that you do. You become more magnetic on your sales calls, in your meetings, in your content, in your presence. You become more magnetic because people get a sense for this freedom, this peace of mind that you have, this comfort with yourself, this conviction. And the reason why this energetic work is your biggest needle mover is because people can find your service elsewhere. Let's just be honest. If you're doing copywriting, providing a digital marketing service, I was running Facebook ads, booking in appointments for home service companies. People can find those services elsewhere. But why would someone work with you? It's because they build the relationship with you first. Then they invest in your service. People buy from you. People buy you, not your product or service. That's such an important thing to understand. And that's where your energetic state and your state of mind is so important here. And through overcoming this fear, people will wonder, well, first of all, you're gonna see it first. You're gonna hear it first. You're gonna feel it first. But people will start to wonder where that conviction in your voice came from. People will experience the respect that you have for yourself. And they'll be very curious to how you became this way. So let's get into how we can more easily overcome this fear right now in this video. Okay? We're focusing on the internal with this video. Okay? And we can more easily overcome this right now. Because like I mentioned earlier in the video, it's not about liking this fear, right? Overcoming isn't about liking it. It's about making it familiar. So let's start with simply identifying it. Get your notebook here and start writing this stuff out, okay? Because we have this relationship with fear where we just want to avoid it, right? Don't look there. Just don't make eye contact with it and hopefully it goes away. Avoid. Let's start with identifying it. Write it out exactly. I fear this. Write it out again. I fear this. Identify it. Pinpoint it. Talk about it. Talk about it with yourself. Admit it. Admit it. Understand it. Look at it. Understand it. Why is it there? What about childhood instances? What are some specific moments of upset around this thing that really hurt you? That caused you a lot of pain around this fear? We need to dig into this pain. It seems counterintuitive, but that is what you want. Joke about it. Dude, I had this experience with cold calling. I cold called this business. I went to have lunch, came back. This guy left me a voicemail saying, yeah, fuck off, don't do that. And it was way worse than that, but I listened to that like, wow. I went to bed that night. I woke up the next morning. He left me another voicemail at like 2 a.m. bitching me out again. I mean, that's like the worst case scenario with cold calling, right? So identify these moments of upset. Identify why have these moments of where has this fear been exposed before? And dig into that pain. I know it can be painful. Dissect it. Give this thing attention. Give this thing attention. Make it familiar. right? Get detailed with it. Why is it there? Ask why. Write this stuff down and make it painful right now. And if you're not writing this stuff down, you're not getting the full benefits of this practice, because this is for you and yourself. I'm simply assisting you here. Write it down and make it painful. Speak with someone about it. Whether that's a coach, one-to-one, therapist, family, friend, speak with someone about it. And when you truly dig into this pain, you will notice that it unravels more naturally from the inside out. From the inside out, when you understand it at a deeper level like this. And on the external, you're going to want to set up now specific things you can do throughout your day where you can practice this fear at least for 30 days, at least for 30 days in a row. Like I mentioned with myself, I went on a 103-day streak with cold calling. You want to put at least 30 days every day to this thing where you can chip away at it, practice it little by little with consistency and make it familiar to you. And we're hitting the 10-minute mark, I know, but I'm going to leave you with this very powerful question and something that was a big reframe for me. I learned this from a coach. We spend so much time on the negative side of the fear, the bad, the avoidance, the pain. What are the benefits of you having this fear? What are the benefits of you having this fear? And I've asked this to people, and usually they say nothing. There are no benefits, but that's not true. You're practicing patience. You're practicing perseverance, practicing grit, willpower. You're clearly being pulled in some sort of direction. You need to become aware of that. You're clearly being pulled in some sort of direction because this fear keeps pushing you in that direction. Hope you enjoyed this video. I really do. And if you write this stuff down, it'll help a ton. Dig into that pain. Appreciate it. Bye-bye.